Hello! Welcome to a live stream chat where we're answering all of your questions you've sent in about the Disney Cruise Line. We are sailing pretty soon. How long do we sail now, Will?
It's like what, 60 days, I think.
60 odd days. It's not long. It's not long. So if any of you are sailing on Disney Cruise Line this summer, do let us know down in the comments. We always love to hear about everyone else's trips. I'm just going to get some of your questions up here so that we can answer, your questions. Would you like to, first of all, introduce yourself, William?
Hello, I'm Will, aka Wikipedia. I do theme park stuff on YouTube, and
You do.
I'm part of this channel.
You are part of this channel. You are part of this channel. Well, I am Rhiannon Morgan. Everyone calls me Rhi. This channel was originally Mummy of Four Does Disney. It's now Disney and Beyond. We do other things, other family travel on this channel too, but we share all things Disney parks, Disney cruise, UK mini breaks, all that kind of thing, family travel with all the magic that you want to just feel like you're there with us, plus all the tips so that if you want to go yourself, you know you're going to make the most of it. Plus bonus tips if, like us, you've got maybe children with autism or adults with ADHD or any kind of mix of that, just to kind of make the most of your trips. So let us know who's joining us down in the comments. Let us know where you're joining us from. If you've sailed on Disney Cruise Line before, if you're planning to sail on the future, and which sailing you're on if you're sailing this summer, because it'd be great to say hi to you guys on board if you are sailing too. William, would you like to kick us off with some questions we've had sent in?
All right, let's start. All right. How much do you spend on board? Wondering how much budget for the trip. So, well,
Okay, that's
obviously,
Gemma
spend
has sent that in.
nothing
You
if
could,
you
yeah.
need to.
I mean, technically, could you actually spend nothing? Let me think. So once you've paid for your cruise and you step on board, you do. Tips aren't compulsory, but they are kind of compulsory.
Yeah,
They're not
so
officially compulsory, but they're going to take such amazing care of you on board. Technically, you could prepay those.
yeah. So,
If you don't drink any alcohol, you don't have to.
I mean, you could bring on your own alcohol.
True, as long as you want to drink it in the room. You can
Yeah.
bring on up to 2 bottles of wine per adult, or is it 6 beers? I've done extensive videos and things about this, but basically there's a limited alcohol allowance you can bring on board for drinking in your stateroom or on your veranda.
As long as we're right with not having popcorn in the in the
Yes,
theater.
but you are allowed to take your own. They don't stop you from taking your own snacks in. You could
Yeah.
technically take your own snacks in. We're just like stripping it back. Technically, would you have to spend anything extra?
Obviously devoid of all merch.
You'd have to avoid the shops because that's where the money goes, isn't it? Because we end up with
Yeah,
this and with
90%
this.
from the
I mean,
shots.
we do love like a spirit jersey. I'm not sure the colours are coming across as like this is a lot more purple. I'm not sure what is going on, as you said, you were mentioning earlier, weren't you? But
Yeah.
this is quite bright normally. But yes, we do like a bit of this is a Disney Cruise Line one. We do like a little spirit jersey. So that the trips to the shop are where the money just accidentally all falls overboard.
Yeah, whoops.
Whoopsie.
I mean, at that and they're like special ice creams and stuff.
Yes. Now you can get unlimited soft serve included in your cruise. But if you want to go to Sweet on You, I think it's called, on the Fantasy this summer, or if you're sailing on the Dream. I mean, I'm assuming most of you guys are in the UK and therefore looking at the UK sailings. Obviously, other ships are available, other sailings are available, such as the Wish. When we went on the Wish, it was Inside Out. What was the name of it? It was the Inside Out Sweet Shop.
Did the
Mine goes blank. Mine goes blank. I can picture it. Joyful Treat. Joyful Treat.
Joyful Sweets.
So there's Joyful Treats on the Wish. On the Fantasy, it's Vanellope Sweets and Treats. So we did do the Ralph's ice cream challenge. That one beat us. That was 6 scoops of ice cream. Even between the 4 of us, we were just like,
I mean, I was doing good. You guys not
blagging. We did the Vanellope's car. That was only 3 scoops and a whole bunch of toppings. We aced that one. Smashed right through it.
Okay, yeah.
But we didn't, you don't have to do that. So it really is, and I've said it before, and I got this when it was Carly, the cruise director, who we've had a couple of times. We had her on the Dream on the Wish. She says it's Disney Cruise Line's choose your own adventure. It really is. So you can go as mad as you want. I mean, I would personally say, save your pennies before you go, because you're going to want to be spending on board because there's so many amazing things that you're going to want to buy. But It really does depend. If you're not planning on drinking much alcohol, you don't have to spend that much money. But specialty coffees, specialty soft drinks are an upcharge. All alcohol's an upcharge. Popcorn and then merch, really. They're the big ones, aren't they?
Yeah, mostly.
They are the big ones. So yeah, it's kind of a whatever you want to do. By the way, if you I should have got one out actually. Where's my Monzo card? I believe it's in the depths of here. We use Monzo for spending on board. I think it's in here. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah. So Monzo, if you go to, I'll type it in the chat in a second. If you go to mummyof4.com/Monzo, I will type that in the chat actually, because we use this for spending on board and abroad because you don't get any currency conversion fees. What you do have to remember is everything you're charged on board will be in dollars. So if you are using like a normal credit or debit card, you will get charged a currency conversion fee for everything you spend on board. And that can really add to the cost. If you use, I mean, other cards are available, but we use this one and I find it great. I've actually used it as my main account now, and the children actually have their own pocket money card. So you've got a Monzo card, the girls have got Monzo cards. I can pay them their pocket money in advance or transfer money back and forward, wherever we've got Wi-Fi. And then anyone that spends on board doesn't get currency conversion fees. And when you join Monzo, if you use that link, you get £5 added to your account and I get the same. But I think at the moment they're doing £10. So follow the link and see if it's £5 or £10. But it will say when you follow that link. I'm not like sponsored by them or anything, but highly recommend. Let's have a super quick look in the comments while you have a look at a next question for us. So Tilda, says hi. Michelle, hello. Jennifer says my daughter 7 and I are from Alabama, USA. Hello. We're cruising on the Disney Wonders to Alaska in July. That sounds amazing. Nice. Amazing. Colleen says hi, Ree and Will. Just off the fantasy last Saturday, loved it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Tell us everything about the fantasy. I tell you what I want to know. Question for anyone that's on the fantasy already. You know, when you buy stuff and then there's bags behind and it's like once you've spent $40 or $50 you can get this bag for $10 or $20 or something.
Yeah.
What is the bag? Because one year there was like a big duffel bag which we really loved, and then another year, last year, it was this one that you could get. So I'm wondering, are they still doing this one? Or is it like back to the big duffly one? And another question for anyone who's been on the fantasy, the other one I'm really keen to know, are they doing, I've got one in here somewhere again. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm keen to find out what's going to be the Castaway Club gift. So if you're not familiar, once you've sailed once on the Disney Cruise Line, the first cruise, you're just like a first-time cruiser. When you step off your first cruise, you are in the Castaway Club, and every subsequent cruise, you get gifts. And the last few years, since the 25th anniversary at sea, this has been the Castaway Club gift. But there's rumours. There have been rumours. Well, what have the rumours been?
I can't remember them now, but like
The
that's
bag. They were going back to the shoulder bag, like a bluey greyish kind of sling bag instead of this one. So yeah, I'd be really keen to know. I wonder what were the gifts. There you go. So we're supposed to be answering the questions, not asking them. But if anyone knows those, that's what I want to know. Okay, Michelle says 13 weeks on Monday for our cruise. We're doing the 7-night Northern European. It sounds amazing.
nice.
Amanda says we're on the British Isles cruise on the 8th of September. So double-digit day for us. It's exciting when it goes down to double-digit day, doesn't it? When it gets to double-digit day, you can start using your magical cruise planner because there are.
Well,
you can use.
Technically,
You can
use it.
technically you can use it from 100, and you can start counting down the days. I'm hoping I've put the details for this down in the description of the live. Not necessarily. Let me know if these details for this are below. For my planner store, if anyone needs a planner, a digital or a printed copy. If not, I'll pop that in the chat.
Also, an idea that you can do with it. So, I mean, if pixel art's your thing, you can make a 10 by 10 pixel art with the countdown.
Wow, that would
if you can somehow do that.
That would be clever. And you just colour in a random one every day. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Michelle says ditto. She uses Monzo too. It is good. Emma says hi. We were on the same cruise. Yay! Please do spot us. I'll be the one with a big camera and a million kids in tow.
Yeah, I'll probably be wearing something like this.
Yes.
Maybe like the big Mickey hat or something.
Oh, the
I
big
feel like that's gotta come back.
The big pointy, the DLP one.
Yeah.
That's not had an outing in a while, Will.
No.
That's, I think it does need an outing. Yes.
Did we take it to Florida or?
I think it was a bit hot on your head for Florida, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
the flashing giant Mickey hat might make a return. It might make a return. And Gemma says, so excited for our first sailing this summer. Which cruise are you on, Gemma? So excited to find out for you. Okay, on to some more questions. If you do have any more questions for us, leave them in the comments. Okay, how often is open house offered for the kids club? Is it only once on the first day? No, it's not only once on the
Yeah.
first day.
Tends to be for the first section of the first day, which is like maybe like 12 till 3.
Yeah. And then
About then.
often, so generally on the first day, the whole, like initially they'll open the whole thing, but then subsequent open houses. So if you think of the Oceaneer Club, it's actually the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab, and they're linked, and there's a door that they can shut in between. So sometimes they'll open one half to the public and they'll keep all the kids safe in the other half, and then they'll move all the kids and do open house in the other half. So you'll never have open house and like the public in with the children that have been left there within Disney Cruise Line's care. So that's always good to know. I definitely recommend doing the open house, even if you're not going with kids. It's so cool in there, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes they do open both, like if it's like, well, if it's like the start of the day
initially
or
the first
something,
day.
like,
But
but
then-
also in the morning, like 8 till 9, sometimes they do it as well. Like,
But basically, if the kids club is open for kids, it will only be like half and half, and then they'll shut the door in between. It's really nice to take your children in so that if they've never been to the kids club before, so that they can get an idea of what it's going to be like, so they're not going to be nervous. And also it's nice to know where you're leaving your children, isn't it? And they know where the toilets are and things. But then also it's nice to go back in later on so they can show you around what they've been doing. Zara's always like, yeah, we were over there and we did this, and it's nice to get to see that, see what they've been doing.
yeah. Also, they have changed the kids club now. One of the rooms, the Disney Infinity Room, R.I.P. Disney Infinity. Like it's the final death of it because I mean it already was discontinued, but now the room's gone as well. So
see, Dylan was big into Disney Infinity. Dylan's nearly 21. He was hugely into Disney Infinity on what did he have? It was like a Wii or something. Computer game. It was
I think it was on his Xbox.
An Xbox, was it? It was like a character, and you like plonked it on a base, and then when this little plastic character was plonked on the base in real life, it appeared in the game. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool, but
that sort of thing is kind of, well, that was quite peaked actually during that time.
I know it was,
but now the only really thing that is left is like Amiibo, which is like the Nintendo thing, that you put the character on the Joy-Con and does stuff, but even that doesn't do much anymore.
So what have they replaced the Disney Infinity Room with on Fantasy?
They've replaced it with the web, with like a web thing.
Oh, like the
Spider-Man Spider-Bots.
Cool.
Like a Marvel room theme to like the web.
So a bit like the Marvel area on the Wish?
A bit, yeah.
Right.
But like, I don't think it has, I don't know what it has, to be honest, but it has Spider-Bots and stuff. It's pretty cool looking. Talk
to us, Will, about the age limits for the kids clubs and what happened to us just before we sailed on the Wish. Well, I had to flip my drink because I still had translated.
All right, no, that's the Dream. I was talking about the Dream. So hang on.
Oh, hold the phone.
Yeah, the Disney Infinity Room was on the Dream. The Fantasy never had a Disney Infinity Room.
Okay.
But the Disney Fantasy does have a Marvel room and a Star Wars room.
Okay, but it's a different Star Wars to the Dream. So on the Dream, you drive the Millennium Falcon. It's different on the Fantasy, is it? Or have they got a Falcon on the Fantasy?
No, they don't have a Falcon on the Fantasy.
Okay, so it's different.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think you said it was more like the Star Wars on the Wish.
It's themed to like the droids and stuff, like rather than like on the Dream it's like Millennium Falcon, that area. Fantasy is more the droids, and the Wish is like the Star Wars creatures.
Cool. So the different levels of kids club. Under threes it's a small world nursery. You need to book them in advance, and it is an upcharge. All the rest of the kids clubs are included in the price of your cruise, whereas the under threes, you've got to book them in for a slot. I guess it's just they're a lot more work on it. It's like nappies and bottles and ratios and things. So
sorry,
are you okay?
I'm fine.
And then the Oceaneer Club, well, from age 3, as long as they're potty trained, up to 10, didn't it? It used to be 12. Now, what happened just before we went on the Wish, Will?
They cut the rope.
Oh.
A reference to an old Like, well, reference to a different game.
So basically, we were due to go on the Wish before you turned 12 so that you could do the Oceaneer experience because on the Wish they've got the roller coaster developing experience. And just before we sailed, like a few weeks before we sailed, they changed the ages. So then it's now a cut off. So age 10, so this is Bella's last year in Oceaneer, up to age 10 can do Oceaneer. And then so it's 10 to 14. 11 to 14 then in Edge, is it?
14.
11 to 14 in Edge. Whereas it used to be this overlap. When you were like 11, you could be like, shall I do this one? Shall I do that one? And you had this overlap. They've changed that now. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you were just a bit gutted. But equally.
But then I still made good progress on the Imagineering thing because I mean, Magic Pen scan it and
yeah. So basically,
got to experience it.
You've got to experience it, and you still got to do it every day, didn't you?
Yeah, most
so
days.
You could still go into the kids clubs every day, and I think when we're going to struggle is when Bella's in Edge age, and Zara's like on her own in Oceaneer. I'm not sure she's going to be fussed on that.
Maybe not, but
she's going to be sad because she's used to going in with her siblings, isn't she?
Yeah, but she might be all right. Like,
she might. I mean, she'll be older.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how that goes. But equally, we could just go and do kids club sessions during the open house. She wouldn't have to miss out on the kids club.
Yeah.
If she really didn't want to do that.
The main things though, the difference is like I don't think everything's available, so like, you can't use the crafts and stuff.
No.
Or like, and they don't like do all the shows and whatnot.
I mean, this is information only you have. I can't ever I never will experience a kids club session as a kids club. Tell us a bit about what they do in the Oceaneer club on the Dream. Then you did Oceaneer on the Dream, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, you did the first.
Yeah.
For the Wish.
I'm doing like Disney Infinity and stuff.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the kind of things that go on in the Oceaneer club as a kid.
So basically, every like hour or so, they do like well, they do either like there's two types of entertainment. They do either like a show or they do like an interactive like game type thing. So like they might use the floor thing, or like do like a disco type thing.
The floor thing, you mean? Is that the light up floor? It's like
the light up floor where they play games on it. So they'd either do like that, or they could do like a disco, or like have like a show with some characters and stuff. Like,
I've got to say, I've never been a big fan of kids clubs. I've always worried about like, are they safe? Are the children going to be happy? You know, but the Disney Cruise Line ones, I've always felt are so safe. The extra level of care that they take. You know, we've got to check you in. So we'll do the online check-in. There will be a vlog come in with the online check-in. You getting up with me to do 5 a.m. online check-in to get our...
I think so, yeah.
Will's pretty good like that. We will be vlogging that. So we'll show you the whole experience so you can make sure that you can maximise your online check-in. But basically, you've got to check the kids into the kids club, and they've got their photos. There's photos of the people that are allowed to pick them up. There's all their details, and there's a password. So in order to pick up your child, you've got to prove who you are and know the password, or they won't give you the child. So that's pretty secure. That's pretty secure. I feel quite safe. And if there's ever a problem, you get messaged through the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. If you've not yet downloaded the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, it's a bit boring before you get on the ship. You can pretty much only use it for the basics.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a cut down version before you get on the ship. But as soon as you get on the ship, it lights up.
Because then you just get you see everything that's going on.
Everything. Like, so good. All the menus, all the activities, all the options. It's amazing. And you can use that to communicate with other members of your party and Disney Cruise Line. So you can use it to communicate with guest services, or they can message you.
And you can use Disney emojis like Mickey Mouse and stuff within the app.
Oh, yeah, we need more of that in our real lives. I'm so ready to get back on a Disney cruise. It's been too long. It's been too long. Okay, so have a look if there's any more questions in the chat, and then we'll get on with some that have been sent in. Okay, Gemma's going on a 3-night to Belgium in August on the Fantasy and already booked the Dream for the Netherlands next summer.
Okay, that's
that sounds good. The question is, do we book the Dream for next summer? What do you think?
Maybe as a placeholder, we could.
Do we put a deposit? I haven't done it yet. Did I do it? I don't think I did. Did I do it?
I don't know.
I was going to. It will be the 3rd time on the Dream if we do that. Or do we do... We've got another question coming up about the further away ones. The thing I like about the UK sailings, and this is maybe quite a specific problem to our family because I'm self-employed and so is my husband, but I like the security of it because as soon as you book an overseas holiday and you've got flights and things, if you cancel because life, then you have got penalties to pay and things because you would lose some money. Whereas if you choose to book, like we booked the Fantasy sailing, didn't we? Like sort of open when it opened. And what we said was, darling, what we said was, look, we're just going to put this down as a deposit and we'll decide nearer the time. And up to 90 days before you're sailing, this is the policy at the time, like, always check when you're booking your own stuff. But up until 90 days before sailing, you can have all your money back if you wanted to on that cruise, because we hadn't had to pay for flights because we're sailing from Southampton. So if my job had changed or my husband's job had changed and financially it wasn't going to work, we could just be like, okay, we'll have our money back. So I don't see putting a deposit on a Disney cruise if you haven't paid for flights yet as an issue, because it's just like leaving it in a savings account without interest. But you could have that money back. And I did, in fact, do that. So we had originally last summer, we had a deposit on the Dream. And then we're like, okay, we won't do the Dream, we'll do Florida. And then we went to Florida. We got back from Florida. Everyone was sad. No Disney countdown. We had to put Disney countdown away. It was the worst. So then we ended up rebooking the Dream. So actually, what I should have done was just left the deposit on the Dream until that 90 days before sailing. And then that would have. So I think, I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Would you want to watch us go on the Dream a third time? Is that a vlog series you want to watch? I honestly think we could have a totally different experience.
I know, yeah, we just do different things.
I think so. Do you?
Yeah, because I feel like last time we did more like activities and stuff, like the game shows and stuff. Like,
there's so many things. Like I said, Disney Cruise Lines, choose your own adventure. You're never going to have the same cruise twice. So maybe I'm answering my own question.
Also, the activity things are like they're basically imagine just randomized. They're almost
they are. They change all the time. And
like I had a look. I was looking for like a Star Wars quiz. They didn't have it, but they do on other sailings because someone did mention. So it's like if you're missing out on something one time, then you can go back and do it a different time.
And they have things on simultaneously, so you can't physically do everything because you can't be in more than two. You can't be in two places at once, even though you wish you could. Emma says, I've never left my kids in the kids club before. They're 4 and 6. I'm worried they'll get upset. Will the staff on board know how to contact me? Yes, 1,000,000%, Emma. So first of all, my suggestion would be take them into the open houses and and Emma, honestly, I personally believe if you say to your children they're not allowed to go to the kids club, that's what will make them cry, because that's how it kind of has been. And if they're going in together as well, that really helps. And I found like you guys have made lovely friends in the kids clubs, haven't you?
Yeah, just like people to just chill with.
Yeah, and like everyone's kind of really friendly. And I don't know, Emma, were you one of the ones that said they're on our sailing? You can say hi to my kids.
I know this doesn't exactly apply to like the Oceaneer Club, but like an Edge of it's just like I just find random people and it's just like let's play Mario Kart. Like
that's a really nice experience that you wouldn't necessarily have, and that's good for building social skills and just broadening your horizons, really. And they're all generally kind of like-minded people, aren't they? They're all like Disney loving kids.
Yeah, they're all I think most people are just like in the same kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had lovely times in Edge, haven't you? And because I worried about you going in. So she says, will staff on board know how to contact me? Yes. So as long as you've got the Disney Cruise Line app on your phone, they'll be able to contact you directly through there. And what if I have no signal on my phone? You won't have signal on your phone because you'll be out at sea. But what you do is there's 2 types of Wi-Fi on the Disney Cruise Line. There's the Disney Cruise Line free Wi-Fi,
which is like essential. That,
yeah.
Like,
so you can use that for basically accessing the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. And I think you can use iMessage on it, can't you? Maybe WhatsApp? I can't remember. I think we used iMessage.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, you can message on it basically, and they will use the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app to message you as long as you are hooked into that Disney Cruise Line Wi-Fi. Now, if you want to contact the wider world, the Wi-Fi is about £1 trillion a minute or something like that, isn't it? About that. I think I did pay for Wi-Fi on the Magic years ago, so I could upload stories in real time. But I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that again. I don't know if I'll just like maybe do that at port. I think last time I didn't do any stories while we were away on Instagram. I did some when I did them when we got back, but I don't know this time. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not sure. Do you guys really want updates while we're away? I don't know. Let me know. Is it important? If it's important, I'll do it.
I mean, we stop at port like twice, and it's kind of like in the middle, so it'd only be a couple days. Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, you're gonna get like pretty good normal signal, and I think like roaming is better now, isn't it? Most people, I mean, obviously check with your phone provider, but it used to be when you went abroad, you were like, I've got to turn my phone off because if anyone rings me, it will charge me loads of money, and it was just extortionate. Whereas things are a lot better now. Zainab says, I'm joining you on this live chat, and she's going on holiday to Turkey in July. So good. Emma says, thank you for explaining, putting my mind to rest about the kids club. Emma, I have got a video all about the kids club. Guys, if you are going on a Disney cruise, I have got a playlist explaining everything. I've been doing videos for the last, probably since January, every week, explaining every little bit. And in fact, I think, is it mummyof4.com/plan cruise? If you
Probably.
go to that website, I believe if you put your email address in there, I will send you a load of information about cruises. I need to set up the emails. Basically, I'm setting it up this week. But if you put your email in there, you'll get like an email from me every few days, taking you through the stages of everything you need to do to plan it, and it will really help you just make sure you've got everything covered. Okay, where are we at? Okay, Emma says thank you. Cruise in Turkey. Okay, Michelle says I'm undecided about the dream next year too, but I would like you say, it'll be a different adventure. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so easy. And I know some people complain. They're like, oh, the UK cruises are more expensive than the American ones. But for us, getting to America is really expensive. That's quite
funny.
expensive. So,
And moving to America is even more expensive.
moving to America is more, I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't want to live in America. I do love going there to do Disney. Glad we live where we live. But it is like if you, for example, and it's just like getting off at Southampton and driving home a few hours. It's a quite a long drive, but actually it's not as long as getting to Heathrow. Whereas think about when we got off the Wish. When do we go off the Wish? 10 a.m. Something like that.
Yeah.
An hour to the airport to MCO. We didn't fly till 7 in the night, so we were just hanging around MCO all night. What were we, 7 or 8 hours back, weren't we, on the plane?
Yeah, it was a long.
And then we had to drive back from Heathrow. I say we had to drive back. The airport transfers picked us up. I didn't know which way was up. I couldn't say my own name by the time we got back from.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, Florida is so magical and amazing, but it's sailing from Southampton is so easy. It's just so lovely. Emma says, I'm on your cruise. Yes, we'll definitely say hi if we see you. Please do. And tell your kiddos to watch the vlogs and look out for my girls. And I'm sure the girls will be more than happy to, look out for anyone in the Oceaneer and say hi to people. We are putting together many, many pixie dust bags for you all. Little treats and things. So we'll have those. And I think the girls are making bracelets again. So we've got lots of gifts to give out to everybody. Okay. Maxine says, how busy are the pools? I know my kids are going to want to go in the pool every day, but I'm wondering what the best times are.
Best times to go. I mean, for not busyness, early as you can, like as soon as it opens.
Yeah.
And near closure.
And port days are sometimes a bit quieter because some people go off the ship.
And it normally opens, I think it's normally 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Not
Depending
exactly sure.
on obviously weather and whether there's a show.
Yeah, and it might be different if it's like.
And it's different. All the details are on the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. And it's sometimes a bit frustrating because you're like, well, I want to know what's on the menu. I want to know what the schedule's going to be. Why won't they share it with us?
Wait, the Aqueduct doesn't normally open in the morning.
No, it's normally
it's normally like 1 p.m. till like 10 p.m. I think.
Yeah, again, look on the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. The thing is, you won't know till the day, but then in all fairness to Disney Cruise Line, I get why they don't share the actual details of it all until you get on the ship. Because I believe that Disney want to underpromise and overdeliver. They don't want people getting on board going, well, I was told there was going to be a drawing class at 3 p.m. and they're on it. So if one of their members of staff, the cast members, are off sick, they can't exactly phone another and be like, hey, can you come in? Because they're on a ship in the ocean. So if something goes wrong and they have to change which show's on that night because a bit of scenery breaks or something, they've got to fix it. They can't, they're in the middle of the ocean. They can't get a part called in or whatever. So I get why they do it. However, if you want a rough idea of the sorts of things that are going to be on the menus, the sorts of things you're going to expect, I include all of that in my vlogs. So just so that you can get the essence of what it's going to be like when you sail, because I know that it's just, there are a few reasons really. Number one, if you know what to expect and you know the sorts of things available, you're not going to miss out on things. Because I've had so many people have watched the vlogs and they got off the ship and messaged me going, oh my goodness, I didn't realize there was XYZ and we missed out on it. And that's such a shame. So there's that. But also, I think, speaking for you, but especially with autism, I think you enjoy things more when you know what to expect. Am I right there?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Yeah, and definitely the girls, like Zara especially gets really nervous about
I think
things.
I like 95. I want to know like maybe 95% if I'm going to be picky.
Exactly. Yeah.
Leave a tiny sprinkle of surprise, but most of it I want to know.
Exactly. There we go. Michelle says WhatsApp does work while at sea. Just have the basic Wi-Fi on. You can't send pics or videos though. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. And iMessage if you're doing iPhones.
Oh, look, there's your link.
There we go. There's my, oh, that's my link I posted. There we go. Emma says, there we go. Is the special needs support like in the kids club?
What is?
But yeah. So, Courtney, basically you will let the kids club know at online check-in what your children's needs are. And there are two colors of like magic bands. So in fact, let's just rewind slightly and just quickly touch on magic bands. Rewind. So magic bands will be issued to the children if they don't have Magic Band Plus, and they're just straightforward magic bands, and they'll use those to scan in and out of the kids clubs. Magic Band Plus are the ones you purchase.
I think it's called Disney Band Plus though.
Is it?
Like,
it probably is actually. Are they here?
It's not Magic Band Plus. That's specifically the park.
Okay, I'm just seeing.
I think it's like something else.
We find the difference. There we go. Okay, so Magic Band Plus, Disney Band. Oh, there you go. So there's Daddies. So this is a Magic Band or Disney Band Plus. Okay,
I think that's a Magic Band Plus, or actually, it depends where we got it.
They're the same. Oh, we got them in what they say.
Both
they're the same. No, they are the same. Okay, so that's so mine. I actually got this one. I thought it was like a neutral color. It's a bit boring though. The Magic Band Plus, they tend to have a lot more choices in the parks than on the ship. But if you buy them for the parks, they work on the ship. We will get back to the special needs question in a second, I promise. So I thought I'd have a normal Magic Band in here as well. The girls taking them all to play with. Anyway, the Disney Band Plus, you need to charge them, and then they light up and stuff, and they interact with.
Cool one.
That is your really cool.
And also, you get these like little tag thingies. So they might be a different color, but like you get them to show that you're like an edge if you have a Magic Band.
Ah, right. That's what that was.
You don't. They give you a sticker on your like. Well, I think it's like a card of some sort.
Why do they do that then? It's to show you're allowed in that edge, to show your right age.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So they're the Magic Band Plus. So you're wearing that one. The girls will wear Magic Band Plus because they've got those. But if not, they'll be issued with a Magic Band, a standard one, when they get on board. The Magic Band Plus, you can pay for things. You can open the doors and they light up. The standard Magic Bands are literally just for in and out of the kids' clubs. When you get to the Oceaneer Club and you hand your kid in, they have, and I showed all this in that video all about the kids' clubs, there's a coloured clip. And there's one coloured clip that means like no additional needs, and one coloured clip. But I'm not sure if it means and additional needs or if it means just allergies. But that coloured clip will show the counsellors at a glance which kids definitely have allergies, maybe have additional needs. But when you scan your kids in, so they scan their Magic Band to get in, and then they know exactly who they've got in the kids club. They know who that child is and they know all their needs, and they have all of that on screen, and all of that information is there. So I don't know, what additional support do they offer, would you say, in the kids club? I mean, you guys haven't accessed support as such, but
not really. But they have got plenty of cast members for it.
Plenty. So I'm assuming that, I mean, you lot have always been okay in the kids clubs, so that you've all been like kept an eye on according to your needs without kind of them making a fuss of that.
Yeah.
Obviously you can like speak to people when you're dropping them off as well, and then they'll, you know, have a better idea and you'll feel confident. But we've always just found that you've all really enjoyed the kids clubs, even though I'm not a big fan of holiday clubs and things in general, leaving you places. It just feels so super safe. And I know, I think, did Sarah like bang a head or something, or a leg or something, and I got a message straight away. So yeah, but you know, that's all.
Oh yeah, also oh wait, hang on. Oh yeah, the locks on the Magic Bands. They give you locks if you're going to the kids club, like the Oceaneer club.
Yeah, that's what I meant about the coloured clip things.
Oh right.
And then they either get them cut off, or actually I tend to leave them on the children's Magic Band in case they ping off, because when they've got smaller wrists, they tend to ping off a bit quicker. So I just tend to leave the locks on, and then I would cut them off later just so they don't lose their Magic Bands. And you can wear Magic Band Plus on slides and stuff, can't you? I'm sure I've worn mine on slides.
Yeah, I think so. They're waterproof.
Yeah. What Emily does says, on the same sailing as you, we've got the adventure booked for January, amazing, and provisionally have the dream booked for next summer, having already sailed in 2023. Yes, I know. Now, one of the questions is which cruise is next on your bucket list, Will?
Oh, which cruise? It's one to I mean, probably either the treasure, the adventure, or the destiny.
I'd love to do
One
the
of
treasure. It's already available.
Yeah.
The question is, do we just book the treasure for next year and not the
I do kind of want to see the spider bots on the destiny that are on the
I
thing.
know, I know.
I'm actually.
I want to do all of them. That's the thing. I want to do all of them. I want to. So we haven't done the wonder of the initial ships yet. Yeah. So okay. Michelle says, Lorraine, I still wear the bracelets Bella and Zara gave us last year. Oh, that's so lovely. If anyone, by the way, has still got bracelets that the girls made, just tag us in stories and things. The girls would love to see those. Yeah, that's super cute. And if anyone has got the planner, make sure you're tagging me in your pictures when you're doing your planning, because I love to see those. Okay, Lucas says, we live in Southampton. If you're looking to kill any time before your cruise, West Quay Shopping Centre is a stone's throw away, which offers amazing food and drink and cinemas and bowling. Thank you. We will have a look. Have an amazing cruise. Thank you so much. Thinking of getting on off the ship at La Corona, as there's a beach not far from the port. Any experience of this? Now, we only got off at one of the two ports last year, didn't we? What were they? La Corona and Vigo?
I think we got off at Vigo.
We did. Now, La Corona, you do have to get, they docked and you needed to get on a bus. It was the same when we got off at, what was the French cruise we did?
The French cruise.
La Rochelle.
La Rochelle, yeah.
So there's two different types of ports, basically. There's the port that is literally like an industrial dock where there is no pedestrianised anything, but Disney Cruise Line will put on a bus. And I think a lot of people's misconceptions, you've got to get pay for a port adventure if you want to go on a port adventure, and if you want the bus, otherwise you're on your own. Disney Cruise Line will put on a bus to get you to sort of a pedestrianised bit that is of interest. So we could have got off at La Corona. We didn't bother. We stayed on the ship. No regrets, because there's plenty to do on the ship. And that was the one where you had to get a bus to the stuff. We did get off at Vigo because it was right there. It was literally, you get off the ship and you wander around and you're right there in front of the ship and it's all very pretty, and we got back on. So I'm guessing we'll just do one out of the two ports again. Haven't confirmed which one we're going to do yet.
Not sure, yeah.
Not sure. Let us know. Do you get off at all ports or just one?
I don't think. Last time how we discussed about the adventure, how many slides it's got. I think I might have found an answer because wait, hang on. All right. So I've just looked. There's themed areas like the Imagination Garden, Discovery Reef. There's Toy Story Place, which looks to have 2 slides.
Oh, cool.
So
there was a Rexosaurus slide on the Wish, but it was just closed when we tried to go on it.
I think there's also, wait, hang on. Is that
they've got
a roller coaster? I can't see that. I don't.
The Aquamos, is that?
Trying to read this. Groot's Galaxy Spin.
William's now getting
first ever roller coaster aboard a Disney Cruise Line ship. Yeah, we have to go on the adventure.
Okay, is that the one that's going from Singapore?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we'll have to look into that.
I feel like
apparently, okay, so William's answer to the bucket list is the adventure.
It's Marvel Landing's got an
actual coaster.
3 brand new supercharged attractions. So there's 3 attractions, but one's a roller coaster.
Like a proper coaster. So we've been on.
I think it goes around the ship.
That's amazing.
Hang on, let me just. Oh.
Okay, so.
You want me to show you?
Oh. Okay, this is not the best way to show it, but yeah, William's just found this. It's got an actual coaster at sea. Okay,
yeah, that is crazy.
So okay, that's on Will's bucket list. Cool. I'd be quite happy with the treasure, but Will wants to do that one. I mean, I want to do more. Okay, Maxine says, thinking of getting off the ship a lot, Corona. Okay, no, we've actually read that one. Coco says, yay, I finally caught up. Watching your DLP Christmas series made me finally book my trip to DLP for Christmas this year. I've not been since 2011. And the Wish ship is my dream to sail on. Yeah, the Wish is absolutely stunning. Okay, next. What's the best way to book if you are from Ireland? I mean, probably just directly through the Disney Cruise Line website, or just speak to some travel agents. There are plenty of travel agents online. We've used travel agents before. And if you just speak to a few of them, sometimes if you book through a travel agent, they'll be able to get you some extra onboard credit or bring the price down slightly from the Disney Cruise Line website. So it's just worth maybe shopping around with a couple of travel agents first, but just most of the time we've booked directly through Disney Cruise Line. How does dine and play for kids during the late dinner sitting work? Now, we've never used this, but apparently you can sign them up for dine and play, and then club counsellors will show up and take the kids away so you can enjoy the rest of your meal in peace, and they'll take them off to the kids club. We've never used it so far. Shout out in the comments if you have ever used dine and play before. But yeah, that's just basically if your kids are not likely to want to sit still through the whole meal, and they can go off and play, so you can chill, have a little drink, have a little relax. But honestly, you lot really enjoy the dinners, don't you? because that's why I've not ever booked like a Paolo or a Remy dinner, because we'd have to give up one of our rotational dining. For the uninitiated, would you like to explain rotational dining in brief, William? If you want more in depth, I do have an entire video about this.
Rotational dining. So basically, 3 restaurants. Every night you go to a different restaurant. And on like Pirate Night, you'd repeat a restaurant. If you're doing like a 5-night or more, you would repeat other restaurants. But every night there's a new menu. So there's each restaurant specific menu, and then there's like,
and you get told which table number you're on. So if you're on table 40, you're on table 40 every night. Every restaurant, you always go to table 40, and you pick your dinner seating, either early dining or late dining before you cruise.
Yeah.
And you always have the same dining team, and you get told which restaurant you're in each night, and the dining team follow you restaurant to restaurant. And you do not have to go. You could just eat deck food or room service. You don't have to go, but don't skip it. It's amazing. The dining team takes such good care of you. They're absolutely amazing. And if you wanted to book a Paolo or a Remy, like an adult upcharge dinner, you'd have to skip your rotational dining, which is why we've never done that, because you guys just love that, don't you? But it's not like you'd skip dinner. We could still feed you, but that's why we haven't done that before. But I have booked Remy brunch this time. We did Paolo brunch. Now I think I'm going to prefer Paolo to Remy, because Remy is French food and Paolo is Italian food. I prefer Italian food, but watch this space. I thought we'd better give it a go. Haley says, do you have to book anything, shows, activities in advance, and when can you do this? You don't have to book anything. There are bookable activities, and I have got an entire video where I go through all the bookable activities for the fantasy coming up. It was slightly different to my normal video. We normally get up at 5 a.m. and we vlog it, and we just kind of sit like this and talk through it all. But Zara was terribly poorly, so I did the whole thing. You get the same experience, but I sort of didn't film it in real time. But in that bookable activities video, and there's a blog post to go with it as well. They're all on the channel. There's a playlist on something like, are you okay? Are you all right, my darling? William's got a terrible cough.
It's a cough. It is annoying.
Yeah, so there's a full video explaining that. When you can book your bookable activities depends on your Castaway Club status, and all of this can be found in the front of my Magical Cruise Planner. So the more times you sailed with, there you go. The more times you sail with Disney Cruise Line, the earlier you can book. So your deposit's always due. Let's see if I can point to this in the mirror. So access to online activity planning, there we go. So it's 75 days for first time cruisers, 90 days before for Silver Castaway Club members, that's us. And then, yeah, so that's, and then the online check-in is earlier as well for the more times you've sailed. But basically, the bookable activities are extra things such as spa appointments. If you need to book your kids into It's a Small World nursery, port adventures that are organised and through Disney Cruise Line, and onboard activities such as the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, the Royal Gathering. Only that everyone books that 30 days before, so that's a bit confusing because that's slightly different. That one is free, but all the other paid for activities like mixology and drinks seminars and all those kind of things. But things you do not have to book. The shows, it's a bit confusing because during COVID you took more. So during COVID, you did have to book you guys into the kids clubs. All that's gone. You did have to book the shows. All that's gone. But that was just trying to manage numbers.
Did you have to book the shows?
Yes, initially. They did away with it in the end. But originally, they wanted everyone booking shows.
That's kind of weird, actually.
I know. So it was just because I was worried we weren't going to get them or whatever. But yeah, originally, during COVID, you had to book everything because they were really trying to manage numbers. But now, no, you don't have to book the shows. You just show up at them, and you go to the show opposite your dining rotation. So if you're early dinner, you're late show, and
Wait, so you show up at them?
You show up at the shows, yes, William. Ba-bum. You don't need to book things like drawing and all the other free activities. You just show up at those. You don't need to book the kids clubs unless it's a Small World nursery. That is the exception. If they're under age 3, you do have to book those. Spaces are limited, and that is an upcharge. So yes. Okay.
But, yeah, basically anything that's upcharge, like activity-wise, you got to book, except for like the Royal Gathering, which has to be booked.
Yes, that's included.
It's
included in your cruise. Spaces are limited. It doesn't mean you won't get to see all the princesses, but you have to queue for them separately if you're not in the Royal Gathering. So I would recommend the Royal Gathering. I have managed to get for the girls this time the Royal Court Royal Tea, which is super exciting, which is an upcharge. And that's an experience where you meet all the princesses and have this princess tea and things. You didn't fancy any activities as such. You've opted for merch.
Yes, please.
So William and I are going to do a shopping spree because you mostly wear theme park and cruise merch. as your wardrobe, don't you? So
that's basically what I
that's
wear.
basically it. Okay, so Haley says we're going on the fantasy in September and would love to see an overall ship video. Well, we basically through the vlogs just cover everything. The vlog series will be out. The vlogs will be out every Saturday. The early release videos, like as soon as I can get them edited, I get them inside my Magical Adventures Club. If you head to mummyof4.com/join, then you can. In fact, I think I've got a little overlay I can put on there. Hang on. If I click that.
Join.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I disappeared. No, that's not the right one at all. No, sorry. Thought if I pressed that, it would do the right thing. Hang on. See if I can do it again. Hang on. No. No, definitely not. Definitely not. That broke it. That's not the right button. I thought if I pressed that button, the thing would come across the screen. It did not. Apologies.
The replay.
Okay. So thanks so much for your advice. How much time in advance should you arrive for the shows?
Half an hour is good, I think.
Half an hour's fine.
But,
We went there and they were literally the same couple sitting in the same seats, weren't they? On the exact same seats, and they queued. I find if you're going on a UK cruise, then people queue more. Like us Brits are like, oh, something is opening. We must go an hour before. And then because everyone's like, we must go early, people like form a queue because it's like, oh, if we don't stand in that queue, we're missing out on something. This doesn't happen on the US sailings. When we got on the Wish, everyone just showed up at the time things were starting and just. But in the UK, it's like, oh, something is starting in quite a while. We must queue for it, and that's just a very British thing. So, yeah, are you probably going to have to go just because of the way us Brits behave to queue earlier because everyone else is queuing earlier on a British sailing than you would on a more relaxed US.
It'd be good if we could just like all make a pact.
Can we all make a pact to just not do that, please? That would
But
be
the
brilliant.
problem is if it's only us,
if you're the only one not queuing, then you're at the end of the
exactly.
day,
Yeah.
I know. And you guys don't do well with queues. And I get
Attention all Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah, stop queuing. I get asked a lot like about queues and things because obviously the children have autism and they get ride access pass in places like Golden Towers. They get DAS in Walt Disney World.
Isn't it just DAS?
DAS,
DAS.
DAS. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. The systems which are in place in all the theme parks for helping people that struggle with queuing due to difficulties or disabilities, they don't have that on the Disney Cruise Line. Now, I've talked to a lot of other people about this, and specifically other people on the first UK sailings and when they'd only done US sailings before, and they're like, they don't normally have disability system because they don't need it normally because the queues are not normally like this. And people when they first travelled on a UK sailing have been like, what is going on? This is not normal. What are all these British people doing making queues when they don't want to be queues? So when there have been long queues, what you can do is you leave an adult in the queue and you can like wander off with the kids, and then you just keep checking back to like when they're nearer the front, and then you just swap them out. So you can join the person in the queue, which obviously you can't do in like a theme park queue because it's
not really
gated.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just queuing along a corridor, you can do that.
Yeah, obviously that wouldn't work in like the aqueduct and stuff because that's
the only exception because that's up steps. But if you're queuing for a character, and that's the time where there's kids versions of these. And what I have in the kids versions is I've taken out all the boring bits about booking and stuff, and we leave in the fun planning days of what we want to do. And we go through each morning. If you've seen the vlogs, you'll know we go through the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app each morning and like plan out what we want to do each day.
Top tip. You don't have to queue for the characters. Just when there's a character, go search around the area to try find a pop-up character.
There will often be a pop-up character to peel people away from the queues.
Yes, but also if you don't end up queuing in the first place, then you can just kind of...
Yeah, that's true. There will often be pop-up characters while there is another character. And we've seen so many characters popping up. It was quite nice, actually, on the Magic. They were like appear and wave. They were just everywhere. So there were no queues, really, because...
Yeah, you just kind of like...
They were just like
hello,
searching for characters and waving. But obviously there were no hugs and autographs then. So it is slightly different now, and you do get to have the hugs and autographs, which is nice. But yeah, I would just leave an adult in the queue for the character, like take the kids off and do something else, and then swap them out when they're nearer the front. And if they are in the queue, that's the time for snacks. And in the kids version of this, there is a space to draw pictures and or to put photos. But what I get the girls specifically to do, who are drawing more than you, is to draw pictures of the characters they're about to have an interaction with, and then they can be like, hey, look, and the cast member with them are like, hey, Minnie, look, she drew you, isn't it great? And Minnie's like, oh my goodness. And so it's a nice interaction, and then it's a nice keepsake, and it's something for the kids to do in the queues. There's lots of activities to do, like when you're waiting in the port and stuff too.
Should we go through the comments?
Go on then, go to the comments. Go on then.
So Lorraine and I still wear the bracelets that Bella and Zara are.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Okay. Good morning, Ree and Will. Hope you're all well. Huge fan of the channel. Love all your Disney vlogs. Thank you for all your hard work and effort.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely. Who said that?
Yeah.
There we go. That's very kind.
Lucas J 2022.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, so are there any more questions? Leave your questions in the chat. See if there's any more we've missed.
Still more.
Okay, still more.
Same person said, have an amazing cruise. Maxine Jackson, am I saying that right? Thinking of getting off the ship in La Corona.
Oh, I think we answered that, didn't we?
There's a beach not far from the port. Any experience of this?
Yeah, we talked about that.
I think, yeah.
I think we've done some of these. Wishes, we've done that one,
Live, watching your DLP Christmas series made me finally book a my trip to DLP for Christmas this year. I've not been since 2011.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
We have got another, which we've not discussed or announced yet. We have got another trip penciled in after this. Well, not penciled in, booked.
Wait, what?
What just happened after this one? But also, we are thinking about which ship to do next, because after we get off this ship, we are gold.
Yeah, I would love to do the adventure. It's just since it's only in Singapore for now, I think.
Yeah, so we have to get flights to Singapore as well. That is the thing. It does bump up the cost.
As much as it would be cool to do a roller coaster at sea, that is Disney as well. Like, it has already existed, roller coasters at sea, but like a Disney one,
I know,
is like.
But the other thing, I really
want
to do California. I really want to do California, and you also really want to do Florida again, and to do Epic Universe back to Walt Disney World, because Zara's now tall enough to do Tron.
I know.
What else was she not tall enough for before? Something else in Florida she couldn't do. I'm sure there's something else. Oh, Rock and Roller. She could do that now.
She could, yeah. I think those are the main ones. Actually.
Those are the main ones. Actually, Florida's pretty good for like the height requirements not being too tall. Zara's 128.
Yeah.
Should be able to do pretty much everything now. So there's that we really want to do. And it's kind of like, oh, if we fly all the way to just do the treasure, we may as well go into Walt Disney World, but then we may as well just move there. Oh, darling, I've got a terrible cough. Yeah, so those are the things kind of on our bucket list, but we're still deciding. So which one should we do next? Should we do California? Should we do Florida? Should it be another cruise after the other trip that we already kind of have booked? So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, more questions?
How many nights are you going on the Disney Fantasy Cruise? It's 5 nights.
5 nights. 5 nights. So we're staying in Southampton the night before. I'd always highly recommend going up the night before. I'm actually going to do a video coming up all about the kind of day before and the day of embarkation, things you need to plan and make sure you've done before you travel. There's going to be one with tips about packing and things not to pack. Obviously, there's going to be all the outfit videos and the pack with me coming before the actual vlogs. If you're inside of my Magical Adventures Club, that's mummyof4.com/join, then you'll get those videos before they go out every Saturday, as well as extra printable bonuses and things to help you plan your cruise. So what else do I need to say? Yeah, so next Saturday it's already filmed and scheduled, so if you want to watch it inside of my Magical Adventures Club, you can. That is a pre-Disney Cruise Line haul and outfit ideas. So they're not the actual outfits I'm necessarily going to wear, but they're a whole bunch of outfit ideas that I'm thinking of wearing. So you can please do watch that next Saturday and let me know which ones should make it to being packed and which ones should not. And then we will put together our outfit planning. We do our outfit planning inside of here. So we get all of our outfit plans. So what I do is write everyone's names across the top, all days down the side, and I plan in everything and get you to pick what you all want to wear.
Yeah.
And then there's packing lists in here. So we'll be going through all of the packing lists, making sure we've got everything we need. And then, then it's going to be the vlogs in like literally no time at all. So that's exciting. Let me know if there are any other specific videos that you would like to see, because I've got a couple of slots available still that I can, Saturday slots I can do videos in before we get to the outfits and the packing and stuff. So I'm going to pop a playlist as soon as YouTube allows me. of super helpful planning your cruise videos. To make sure you have binged every episode in that playlist and join me inside of my Magical Adventures Club. And if you spot us on board, please do come say hi. Thanks for joining us.